Welcome to Harmonies, a tactical game designed for 1 to 4 players, 10 years and up, playable in 30 minutes. Create a tiny world where animals live in perfect harmony with nature. Build landscapes by placing color tokens and try to create habitats for the animals to earn the most points and win the game. Let's start by setting up the game. Place the central board with the 2 to 4 players side face up, the one with the 5 spaces. Each player takes a personal board and chooses which side of the board to use. All players must play with the same side face up. For your first few games, we recommend using side A, with the brown background. Each player takes a reminder card displaying the side matching the personal board. Put all the tokens in the pouch, then place it next to the central board. Fill each side of the 5 spaces of the central board with 3 tokens you draw randomly from the pouch. This forms the supply of tokens available to all players. Place 5 animal cards face up next to the central board. Place the rest of the cards nearby as the draw pile, and place the animal cubes within reach of all players. The player to have last seen a magnificent landscape is the first player. Point the central board's arrow toward them and start playing, proceeding clockwise. Starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise, each player takes a turn by performing the following actions in the order of their choosing. Take and place tokens. Take 1 animal card. Place 1 or more animal cubes. You must perform the take and place action exactly once during your turn. Take 3 tokens from any one of the central board spaces. You must place these 3 tokens on your personal board either on an empty space or on top of another token. For example, a mountain, a tree, or a building. The goal is to create your own harmonious landscape and build a welcoming habitat for animals. Build your landscape using trees formed by brown and green tokens, mountains formed by grey tokens, and buildings formed by a brown, grey, or red base, and then a red token. Fields come to life thanks to contiguous yellow tokens. Make a string of consecutive blue tokens to create a river. The various features forming your landscape will earn you points at the end of the game according to specific requirements and will attract animals if you reproduce the associated patterns. Taking an animal card is optional. You may choose a single card per turn. Add it to your collection in front of you and place the animal cubes on the dedicated spaces on your card. Important! You may have a maximum of 4 cards above your personal board at any time. Each card represents a specific habitat pattern that must be recreated to attract animals to your landscape. When you recreate the pattern of an animal card in your landscape, that animal finds its place in your world. Take the most bottom cube from that animal card and place it on your board as shown in the pattern. Once the final cube on an animal card has been placed, it is considered complete and free space for a new animal card. Note: a single token can be used as part of multiple habitats. However, you cannot place more than 1 animal cube on the same token. You can never place a token underneath or on top of an animal cube. Remember that you need to create a harmonious landscape and attract animals to earn points at the end of the game. At the end of your turn, draw 3 tokens from the pouch and refill the central board. Refill the row of animal cards if needed. The next player begins their turn, proceeding clockwise. The game ends when the pouch is empty, or there are 2 or less unoccupied spaces on your personal board. End the current round so that all players have played an equal number of turns. You can now tally your points for the landscapes you created and animals you have placed. Let's start with the landscape. A tree is formed by 1 green token placed on top of 0, 1 or 2 brown tokens. The height of each tree determines the number of points you score. The height of each mountain also determines the number of points you score. However, a mountain is worth 0 points if it is not adjacent to another mountain. A field is formed by at least 2 yellow tokens in a continuous group. You score 5 points for each field formed by 2 or more continuous yellow tokens. A building is made of 1 red token, placed on top of 1 brown, grey or red token. You score 5 points for each building, but only if surrounded by at least 3 tokens of different colours. In the basic version of the game, it is the length of the river, formed by a string of consecutive blue tokens, that determines the number of points you earn. For each animal card, whether completed or not, you score the number of points indicated in the topmost space without an animal cube. A card with all cubes still on it is worth 0 points. Tally your points to determine your final score, and the player with the most points wins the game. Once you are familiar with the game, you can explore different variants. Flip your personal board to side B for a new experience. The blue tokens allow you to form islands instead of rivers. At the end of the game, each island earns you 5 points. Enrich your game experience with the Nature's Spirit cards. Choose one and earn bonus points at the end of the game if the landscape fulfills the requirements of the chosen spirit. You can play solo to try to beat your highest score. You are now ready to dive into Harmonies' wild and colourful nature. Tactically combine your landscapes and skillfully place your tokens to attract animals and earn as many victory points as possible to win the game.